On your journey of nervous system regulation and somatic healing from conditions like chronic pain, anxiety, panic, and trauma, you may reach a point where it feels a little like you're leaping out of a nest, like you're a little bird and you're about to fly. And that's an exciting time. You're about to spread your wings from within. And I'll explain a little more about what that means and what that's like in this video. And then at the end, I'll talk about a little part of my journey of recovery that will give you some insight and maybe set a little bit of an example of how you can do this too. I'm Healing Wolf, a professional neuroplastic chronic pain, trauma, anxiety, and panic recovery coach. And I work with clients on Zoom to accelerate their recovery and move them into a state where they can continue to transform and continue to heal in a very rapid amount of time, usually between 1 or 3 sessions. And after we've done the work, their unconscious minds have been set on a course so that their recovery becomes inevitable. Now, imagine on your recovery journey, you've been locked down, you've been afraid, you've been experiencing sensations that are so uncomfortable that you haven't known the best steps to deal with them. So you've probably gone through a lot of medical trauma, a lot of medical stuff, and tried different things. And you've actually reached a point where you're listening to me, to people like me, who assure you that you can recover from the inside out, from within. So what this video is about, it's raising your support and your strength from within. And that's a transformation of mind, where a little baby bird realizes that it can fly on its own. It's been in this state of relying on others, of relying on false supports, of feeling insecure and feeling unsupported, perhaps feeling abandoned, perhaps feeling like the people in their lives haven't been able to help them at all. So that's when you can work with some coaches and you can get some skills so that this support arises from within and you're ready to leap out of that nest and fly on your own. And it's an amazing feeling to be soaring. And that wind of strength, the wind will find you when you leap out of the nest. And at some point, it's going to be a natural process. Unfortunately, on my journey and many journeys, it means a total transformation of your life situation. So that can mean letting go of partners, friends, family members who cannot give you what you can give yourself. And what you can give yourself is a deep sense that you have the courage and you have the calm and you have the curiosity to handle whatever's coming your way. And the way you build this strength and support from within is by riding the waves of neuroplastic sensations. So when I was at the bottom, I had these huge surges of chronic pain that were really uncomfortable, really unbearable. And when I continued to show up and build my mindset of indifference and of allowing and of being in a space where those sensations, which I knew were safe, could no longer make me afraid, then I became free. Because fear is driving all of this nervous system dysregulation. Fear is what we conquer as we transform our minds. So we fear a lot of different things. And those can be very real things in our lives, which rarely is the case with my clients. Usually it's overprotection from unconscious mind that's creating really uncomfortable sensations like chronic pain and anxiety to protect them from things that are unreal, like memories or life stress or whatever. So we're raising the support from within by challenging those protection sensations. So, for example, the protection sensations made me very scared to bend over and grab things because I had intense back pain. So when I challenged those sensations and I saw that I could actually bend over and pick these things up and then have a huge surge of pain and still feel okay and know that my body was okay because I had a bunch of doctors look me over and do some tests and run some scans, and everything was just wrinkles on the inside, as Dr. Sarno used to say. Once I knew that and I rode those waves, my mind got stronger and stronger and stronger. It's almost like riding a roller coaster. At first, if you've never ridden a roller coaster, you might be afraid of those sensations. And then you realize that you're not going to be on the roller coaster very long, and you're fine after. Maybe you got shaken up a little bit, but the real sensations that you rode were fear of the unknown. And so as you go through these cycles, these nonlinear cycles of chronic pain or anxiety or panic attacks, and you realize on the other side, like a panic attack's pretty intense, right? But on the other side, you realize, hey, I'm still alive. I'm fine. Nothing broke. I'm good. I'm still here. Then you build that mindset that you're going to be okay. And you know you're going to be okay. And then ultimately you build a mindset that you're going to be okay no matter what happens. Then you stop fearing death because you know that your energy will move beyond the body at some point. And that's the ultimate mindset transformation. But for now, we're transforming our mind to get to the point where we know we're going to find the support that we need. And there can be a lot of people who feel really negative if they feel like the people in their lives have let them down time and again. They've called for help and the people haven't helped them. Over time, I'll put it this way. On my journey, I'll tell you a little story. On my journey, I started to say, God, show me your angels. And so then people would show up in my life. And I had the deep faith that the angels were coming. And they weren't the people I expected. Sometimes they were. Sometimes they were old friends who would show up. Sometimes family members. And sometimes those family members then later left. Later were in their own journey and doing stuff that didn't align with what I was doing and had their own ways of being that were not supportive of the lifestyle I wanted to lead. So it's okay to allow that strength and support to rise from within. And that's becoming a hero. A hero like Odysseus in the ancient epic was someone who lost his crew over and over and over again. And yet he had this knowing, this strength within, knowing that he was going to be okay, that he was going to make it, that his resolve, his courage, his confidence, his calm was going to carry him through whatever showed up. And that leads to a rather fearless state of mind where you know you can start over if you need to start over. You can reach out for help and sooner or later you'll find it. You can take empowered actions one by one, baby steps to freedom, and then spread your wings and soar into the air. So before I tell you a little bit about how the process worked for me as I got that support rising up from within, and how I actually did it, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and ring the bell. Thank you for that. It helps my mission to help others out of hell. So on my own journey, when I finally spread my wings, there was a series of events, and I more and more realized that I could stand on my own, that even though I had huge surges of intense sensations, that I could drive. Driving made me feel like I needed external support, that I needed people to drive me around, because the pain, the flare, the recovery reaction after I would sit for more than 30 seconds was so intense that it felt like I won't even describe it. It was very intense. And so it dropped me to the ground. And so once I realized that I could ride those sensations and hold on through them like I was riding a roller coaster or leaping out of a nest, and that the wind would come, that my wings would hold that wind and I could soar, I showed myself over and over again by sitting in the car, by sitting in the house, by sitting and having these sensations rocket up to such intense levels that I hope you've never experienced those levels, and then coming back down over and over. So I started to realize, okay, all of life is like this. Whatever stressful situation you're in will not stay that way forever. Everything changes. It's the basis of Buddhism. Everything's always changing. They say it's the best thing and the worst thing in life. Because if you're going through something blissful, you don't want it to change, but it changes. You're going through a great torment, a pain, a recovery journey, nervous system dysregulation, those sort of things. And yes, it changes. It gets better. And we can direct that change. And that's what I'm here for. So if you like, check out some more videos and subscribe to the channel, and head to my website, healingwolfcoaching.com, so you can book a consult call and join my newsletter.